Greetings, everyone. This is Zyron, and I want to welcome you to my YouTube channel. Just a moment. I hope everyone is doing well tonight. Anyways, here we go. Oops. Close this. There we go. Okay. Okay. There. Anyways, we're going to start with the Galactopedia update for June 2023. This is going to be a rather slow update. Nothing too super exciting, but I hope everybody out there in digital TV land can actually hear me and such. Hopefully. Anyways, we're going to start with the full-length article for Banu Cuisine. Good lord. This is long. Okay, Banu Cuisine, Foods and Beverages, Banu. Banu Cuisine refers to the common methods by which Banu prepare their food for consumption. Because of the scarcity of the records on Banu history due to their cultural practice of not documenting the events of the past, little is known about their origins of their food preparation methods. In addition, their vast trade network, love of experimentation, sensitive palates, and ability to digest anything have led Banu to integrate ingredients and cooking techniques from other cultures into their cuisine over time. They are nevertheless distinct traits that are typical of Banu cooking. Most crucial are the melding of many flavors and textures in a dish, the importance placed on utilizing the entirety of every ingredient in a meal, and the taboo on food waste. Hey, I can agree with that. One of the biggest taboos in all of the world is the taboo on food waste. I can tell you that right now. It is that bad. Uh-oh. Did we lose it? Huh. Yeah, I guess we did. That's strange. Huh. There we go. Okay. That's better. Hang on just a second. I'm going to resize the window. Resize. Which one is it? There we go. That's better. That's a little bit better. Now you guys can actually see me. Customs. Typically, Banu have one big meal that's eaten alongside each member of their suli, then snack throughout the day. The meal is expected to be a show of abundance, with more food than can be eaten in one sitting. Using their hands, each Banu will take food from the display and place it on plates for ease of mixing constituent parts of the meal to personal taste. The meal is then eaten while sitting partially reclined. At the end of the meal, the remaining food is left out and the Banu will come back to it during their work shifts to pick off snacks and maintain their energy. Any food left at the end of the day is then added to the Anyusese. I can't pronounce that. I'm sorry for the pronunciation. Or all flavor stew, a dish that is featured at almost every big meal and is normally eaten as an appetizer. It isn't unusual for a suli to keep a simmering pot of anjuse that is rarely emptied all the way and is replenished with liquid ingredients as needed. If properly maintained, can be perpetually cooked for decades. Wow. I hope it's edible. Serving utensils are not common. Food that cannot be grasped is scooped with personal plates or cups that individual Banu are expected to bring to the table. These plates often have handles attached and are wide, round, and slightly bowled so that flavors can mingle at the bottom. Banu take pride in using beautifully decorated plates and cups. The 9 tastes. Banu have a very sensitive palate and can detect a wide range of flavors. When filling their plates at the family meal, they seek a balance of what they refer to as bika, nidzitasu, or the 9 tastes. I know I'm going to get flack for saying that wrong. Salty, savory, sweet, pungent, acidic, spicy, bitter, hot, cold, soft, and crunchy. The more tastes included in a single bite of a dish, the better it is. For one example of this is ofasa, a popular fried treat and staple of Banu food markets. The outside is hot and crunchy, the inside is soft and cool, the ibafissa meat is sweet and salty, and the anjafeta is bitter and pungent. Having all 9 flavors in one bite is seen as efficient and is highly prized. Wow. Banu food waste taboo. Banu do not have the notion of food waste. Whereas humans will peel an orange before consuming it, Banu will eat the whole thing, savoring the rind as part of the experience. That's weird. A Jian will discard the whole hard shell of a kolmei, but a Banu diner will leave it on, enjoying the mouthful crunchy chitin, breaking apart against sweet, soft flesh. It is seen as extremely inefficient and wasteful not to use the entirety of all ingredients. If any part of an ingredient doesn't work in a particular meal, it is saved for later and used elsewhere. Food and eating sulis. There's a prevailing culture attitude that things made by experienced artisans are superior to anything that can be made by hobbyists. And this includes meals. Outside of the maintenance of the pot of the anjuse, there is a strong preference among sulis to procure ready-made or easily reheatable meals and snacks from food sulis, which specialize in making a handful of dishes designed to produce maximum flavor efficiency and very little waste. These meals are either delivered or picked up at large markets. Some sulis have been known to indenture Banu from recently dissolved food sulis to keep everyone fed. It's crazy. Whereas small sulis will have their memories procure food on a rotating basis and contribute to the pantry. It is considered a caring gesture for Banu to pick up a treat for their fellow Suli members and add it to the pantry. ESA Sulis are expected to provide their members with especially nice food from time to time, particularly if it's been sourced from distant locations. Dining out is very popular among Banu. Eating Sulis operate public dining halls where they prepare and serve freshly made food, generally buffet style. That's cool. Members of Sulis that have long-term contracts with eating Sulis are among their most common guests. But most will welcome individual paying customers as well. Just as Banu bring their own plates to their meals at home, they expect to do this at eating Sulis. Those who come to an eating Suli without a plate can often purchase one from a nearby giant dishware Suli. Rarely, an eating Suli will keep emergency plates in stock, but having to use one is seen as uncouth. Weird. That's kind of odd. Okay. Now we have short articles. This is today's article work. So we're going to go with the North American Alliance, or the NAA, precursor to the UNE. The North American Alliance was a supranational political and economic union of multiple member states that were located primarily on the North American continent of Earth. Sol 3. Founded in 2189, it rose to help facilitate the sourcing and exchanging of valuable resources made scarce due to the unimpeded environmental destructions wrought during previous centuries. When Mars Sol 4 was fully terraformed in 2157, member states held a summit reaffirming their intention to maintain the alliance. The NAA lasted until 2380, where it was superseded by the UNE, the United Nations of Earth. And immediately after this, we have Amandik Verico, the voice of the commons, is a self-proclaimed spiritual leader, speaker, and self-help coach. Oh boy. He is best known for his 2942 book, Enlightened Negotiating, and his individual work for high-profile clients. Born on Terra 3, he attended a series of meditation seminars in 2903, where he had experienced a spiritual revelation while lying in a sensory deprivation tank. Yeah, I'm not buying it. This experience led him to self-publish his first book, Finding the Hidden You, which saw enough success that Vacario began a self-produced spectrum-based spiritual advice show. Costless visualization amassed a large following, eventually enough to land a guest spot on the show Something Every Tuesday in 2936. After this, his popularity skyrocketed, and he retired from his show in favor of taking on individual celebrity clients such as Elroy Cass and Magnus Tobin. At Tobin's request, Amandeep wrote and performed the inspirational quote series Moments of Clarity, which are played in the Commons of New Babbage Microtax, Stanton 4. Huh. Learns something every Tuesday. That's funny. It's Tuesday, too. It's a weekly entertainment talk show hosted by comedian Ison Lendari. Each episode opens with a monologue that comments on current events, then segues into interviews with a series of celebrity guests. Landerai has used the program to invite little-known musical acts, comic performers, and authors to allow them to showcase their work. It first aired in 2934 in the Tuesday late evening programming slot and was moved to an earlier time in 2035 after Landerai easily rapported with guests and a few surprise hit sketches helped it earn high ratings. Interesting. Gadaviras, Senator of Low. Gadaviras is the Senator of Low, Coral 3. After serving in the UAE Army for 15 years, Veras earned citizenship and ran for a seat on the Governor's Council of Lowell. Under campaigning promise to decrease taxes on middle and lower income individuals, he took office, and while the council joined a committee that successfully pushed through a 3% decrease on income tax planet-wide, he was elected as Senator of Low on the Centralist Party ticket. Since taking office, he's continued to fight for lower taxes and has helped craft several consumer protection laws that decrease the amount of data that can be harvested and sold without notice. Gaddis spearheaded a campaign in 2943 to decommission the maximum security prison quarterdeck located on Kellogg 6, citing a history of human rights violations. Though the proposal was ultimately unsuccessful, political commentators expect Gada to try again under a more favorable political climate. Okay, he sounds like a reasonable senator. The OSSO system is a fair chance protected planetary system that consists of an F-type main sequence star, 3 terrestrial planets, 1 gas giant, 1 ice giant, and 1 dwarf planet. Discovered in 2861 by amateur explorer Errol Nevis, who named it after his daughter. It seemed to be an excellent prospect for terraforming until a young civilization was detected on OSSO 2. Barred from their development plans, some surveying corporations leaked their planetary assessment findings to the press in an attempt to convince the public that it was the UAE's duty to open the system. Following these leaks, a popular movement formed in favor of uplifting the intelligent Oceans. Ultimately, the Senate chose to invoke the Fair Chance Act and set up a permanent military station to keep the system safe from potentially unscrupulous visitors. Oh, really? Really? Huh. Also, 1 is a terrestrial planet and the first world in its system. Tidally locked, one side permanently faces its star, leaving the other side cold and dark. The warm side of OSSO 1 is covered in a sea of lava that ends at the dividing line between night and day. Early surveyors found that the reddish-black crust on the cool side was rich in iron. Before the Oceans were discovered on neighboring planet Osai 2, Osai Resort had given a press conference announcing speculative plans to create a luxury hotel with sweeping views of the awe-inspiring lava sea on a chain of islands near the solar terminus. They were forced to cancel their plans when the Fair Chance Act was applied. Aww, they made a big boo-boo. Whoops. Yeah, really. That's funny. Also 2. Oso 2. It's an inhabited terrestrial planet in the Oso system, best known as the home of the developing Osoian civilization. The second world from its sun, it sits in a temperate location in the Green Band and is covered in lushly forested continents and brackish liquid water oceans. While the atmosphere is naturally breathable, landing is prohibited in interest in protecting the oceans from outside interference and potential poachers. Its high gravity environment has led to the evolution of many unique species that are a favorite research subject of xenobiologists stationed at off-world observation platforms. Stupid. Collector comments. Oso 3 is a gas giant and is the third planet from the sun. Slightly green and white in color, its atmosphere is rich in silicates and iron clouds. Evidence suggests it was once a rogue planet that was pulled into orbit around Oso's sun at some point before the evolution of the Osoians on neighboring planet Oso 2. Comets that pass through the Oso system are sometimes pulled into Oso 3's atmosphere, where they are destroyed by high temperatures and violent weather conditions. Very cool. Oso 4, clandestine mining site. Oso 4 is a terrestrial planet in the Oso system and is the fourth planet from its sun. Lacking a core, it has an undifferentiated interior that is rich in a wide variety of minerals. Soldiers from the neighboring Chimera base must keep Oso 4 under guard to prevent rogue mining ops from forming there. In 2877, the Army made its largest arrest when they discovered an underground mine in the equatorial region that had been in use undetected for over 3 years. 3 standard Earth years. Jeez. Chimera, also known as Yogi Station. Chimera, also known as Yogi Station, is an Earth Empire station in a fair chance protected system. Charged with protecting outside interference, it is located near the Pyro, also jump point to monitor incoming traffic and to protect the system from anyone seeking to undermine local protections. In 2943, a Senate inquiry revealed rampant corruption amongst the crew of the Chimera, including negligence, bribery, and extortion. It was discovered that smugglers had regularly enlisted the aid of Army soldiers in raids on Oso 2, even in the kidnapping of Oseans. The Imperator at the time, Kelos Costigan, responded to this by ordering stricter oversight from High Command that incorporated constant ethics checks from civilian auditors. Yeesh. Also 5 is an ice giant, 5th planet, nearly white in color and has a complex layer structure. Thanks to its distance from Oso 2, it supports a Kovalek station and a variety of utility stations that help supply orbital-based station Chimera and other haulers that pass through the system. Dark reddish planet. Also 4. Also 6, excuse me. Also 6 is a dwarf planet in the Alpha system, the last planet from Sun. Uniform in color, its surface is coated in tholene, a hydrocarbon sludge that colors the world dark red and covers it deep layers of methane and water ice. Like also 5, it is orbited by several utility stations that serve haulers who pass through on the way, their regular treating routes. Okay. Gruzil system. It's just a protoplanetary system. The Gruzil system is a developing planetary system that consists of a K-type main sequence star and a vast protoplanetary disk. First discovered in 2539 by human explorer Dahuzel Kosako after he spent 3 weeks scanning the Hadrian system. It was discovered again in 2542 by Jean explorer Nese Ruthla via a jump point from the Rylus system, a stronghold of the Jian military. The United Empire of Earth responded by incorporating the then Odara system into the Peri line, changing its name to Gruzil after the ancient human deity of war. Following the fall of the Mezars and dissolution of the Peri line, Gruzil was placed under UEE control. The Senate debated placing the system under the protection of the Fair Chance Act, but ultimately decided against it. Today, it is mainly inhabited by miners, salvagers, and scientists engaged in the long-term study and evolution of its planetary system. And then we have Gruzil Belt Alpha. The Gruzil Belt Alpha is a protoplanetary disk. Still in its infancy is a swirling mass of dust, asteroids, and protoplanets. During the Cold War, many spacecraft from both sides were lost in Gruzil Belt, officially due to poor visibility. Salvage companies under contract from the UEE are engaged in long-term cleanup operations to remove wrecks and anti-ship mines that were abandoned in the system after the territory was ceded to the UEE under the terms of the 2789 Akari Cree Treaty. So, what are the connecting systems to this? Horus, Hadrian, Oya, and Ryla. So, this is going to be a very, very salvage-heavy system. Yaman system, formerly Hadur. It has 4 planets. Yemen, also known as the Hadur system, is a planetary system in the Jian Empire. Oops, go up. Huh? That consists of an F-type main sequence star, 3 planets, a dwarf planet, and an asteroid belt. Discovered in 2529 by navjumper Issei Shoin, it was designated as a supply system for the Jian military and placed under its protection. In 2539, it was rediscovered by human explorer Tessa Morrison when she traversed the Baker Yaman jump point and encountered a Jian military escort team. That must have been fun. This incident led to the UPE High Naval Command Jenna Perry to propose the Jian systems connected to the UPE be placed under the control of the Navy in case of an attack. It became the first system to form the Perry line, and humans renamed it Hador after an ancient human deity of war. Under the terms of the Akari Cree Treaty, it was ceded to the Jian Empire and reverted to its original name, Yaman. Kuli is the first planet. The first planet in the Yaman system, tidally locked to its star. One side is permanent daytime, the other side night. During the Cold War between the Jian and human side, military intelligence on the human side identified a facility located on the dark side of Kuli that saw frequent traffic and was under heavy guard. Reports say it was a maximum security labor camp. In 2788, the facility was suddenly torn down and the planet left unguarded. The Jian Empire denies that they have operated a labor camp on Kuli, but have not offered an alternative explanation for its purpose. Well, that sounds very interesting. Terraformation collaboration site. Yeth-Lu Yetho. Yemen 2. I'm not going to pronounce that name again. No thanks. Yemen 2 is the second planet from the Yemen system. Although it saw little use other than resource extraction during the Cold War, it is now a hub of activity as it's being terraformed under a joint project between the Human Corporation, ArcCorp, and the Jian government. The main ArcCorp station in orbit around the planet is a popular destination for workers from either empire to mingle. During the endurance race in 2947, the station reached maximum capacity as enthusiasts gathered there to watch the race. So, this planet is currently being terraformed. Very interesting. Violet skies. Another planet being terraformed. So this planet is in the process of being terraformed too. Yaman 3 is a third planet from the sun in the Yemen system. Along with the nearby planet Yemen 2, I'm never going to pronounce that name right. It is jointly being terraformed by ArcCorp and the Jian government. Their long-term collaboration is expected to benefit both sides as they share their technology and methods with one another. In 2948, the planet was flooded with a violet-hued gas as a step in the atmospheric construction process. Okay. Very interesting. Okay, Yemen Belt Alpha is a asteroid belt in the Yemen system. Used as a supplier of minerals during the Cold War, was under heavy guard during this time period. Human scouts and observation missions were sometimes captured and held as hostages until they could be exchanged for GM prisoners during that time. After the end, the belt was open to commercial mining, I'm sure with contracts, and was one of the main resources of minerals for the ongoing terraformation of Yemen 2 and 3. So we have two planets in this system being terraformed. Very interesting. And then finally, the fourth planet. Last planet. Yemping is the last, I can only pronounce this planet. Once home to several military outposts during the Cold War, Yemping is now orbited by host stations dedicated to entertainment, such as gambling halls, bars, hotels, and other services. Jian and human workers from Yemen 2 and 3 terraforming projects often spend their time here. So this system's pretty well established. Okay. That is interesting. Now, before I forget, because it'll probably never be covered in ISC or anything, what the hell? It's not pulling up. Shoot. It's not loading. Oh well. Before I forget, I want to cover this real quick. I have an upcoming bar citizen. If anyone is in the area and wishes to come, it is at Fassler's Hall, July 30th of this month at 421 Northwest 10th Street, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. It will be at 6, I believe, p.m. So, please, yeah. I might try to do the other thing tomorrow when I can, but that's about all I had to cover for tonight. Unfortunately, my other what do you call it? My other source of information is down at the moment. It won't even open. So, apologies. Hey, Red Stranger, what's going on, man? Hope you can hear me okay. Having some difficulties with the internet tonight. So, yeah. I've been doing good. How about you? Hopefully you've been doing better. I've been doing great. Well, compared to how it's been. Good. I'm glad you can at least hear me. It's been kind of a chore getting things going again. So, I'm trying to cover something that people have brought up for Star Citizen, and I can't. Well, I can find it. I might just have to do some looking again. Okay. Good. I'm glad you're doing okay. Just trying to run my channel, man. You know, them's breaks, unfortunately. Also trying to find work. It's been really annoying. Okay. I don't know why this is not working. Okay. Okay. Anyways. Some Hong Kong bar citizen info summarized. Squadron 42 being removed from the store is not an indicator of its release timing nor any development milestone. Does anyone out there really believe that for a second? CIG is excited to see how Starfield performs and doesn't see any issue with competition. They should. 320 wipe will likely happen only if duplication mechanics have been fixed. CIG is aware of most duping bugs and is trying to fix them. Yeah, sure they are. Hull C release will provide information on server performance with bigger ships. There's a low likelihood of any big ships coming out this year, after this 320 this year. However, there's a statement made in passing about wishing to see something big like the Pioneer come out this year. And the comment was made, you should really come to SitCon this year. I think you'd be happy. That has me a little worried. AI crew blades and crew for simple tasks will likely not be in the game until there's more stability. I knew that would be happening. Salvage mechanics for breaking bigger pieces into smaller is still being thought up. AI like ChatGPT won't be used because of proprietary reasons. Base building will be more like Fallout 4's prefab housing system, and it will be very important to CIG, and is very important to CIG, but likely won't be coming out until later around Nix. Sorry, Red, I'm trying to read through this stuff. Different systems will have different themes and will be reflected both in theme and when they were created. Pyro still needs server meshing. Yes, we know this. Smaller side missions will be given at some point once there's more stability in meshing. UGF missions could eventually have multiple parts, but there's no time frame for implementation. Art aesthetics for different cities are inspired by their in-game lore and current-day Earth. CIG wants to roll out server meshing before rolling out in new systems, with Pyro and Nix being priorities. Yeah, let's see it in practice. Land beacons that are owned can be sold in-game, but players cannot claim land themselves and would sell it officially to others. Okay, that sounds weird. There will not be player ownership of stations in-game, but players can control them. That's a missed opportunity. Player housing and ownership will be a thing, but it's expected to be instanced. You could have a number of people actually owning flat 22B and a HAD tower. Players will also be able to own multiple housing units around the verse. Theaters of War assets aren't coming into Arena Commander, and TOW is shelved. Yeah, right. Rework is being considered for the 600i, but it's not a priority. SIG doesn't have a projection on how the Hull C will affect the economy. Yeah, they do. CIG realizes the mess with the updated cutless price. Promises to advertise any future price increase on Spectrum. Yet they released it today, and guess what? The price on the Titan, the Cutlass, and a couple of other ships went up. So, yeah. Anyway, Red, you stopping by is probably the most fun I've had tonight. I gotta get off here, but I appreciate it, my friend. Thank you. I have to get off here. I got some stuff to do, but thank you for tuning in. I'll try to be doing this a lot more often. Appreciate it. This has been Zyron signing off. Pay my buddy Red Stranger a visit if you can. Give him some love. He's a good friend. Y'all have a great night. See you later.